in collaboration with Addis Media Network. I'm Abdullah Gogana. Students, please tell to your parents what we've talked in the previous class. Students' parents, please help them. Nice. Students, in the previous class, we've talked about cause and effect writing. Isn't it? Good. As it is name indicates, cause and effect means the relationship between cause and effect. When we say cause, we mean that what someone, or maybe why someone doing something. Or that can be said, the reason. Am I right? Good. What about effect, so? Effect means the result that comes after the reason or after the cause. Isn't it? Good students. For example, when I said here, I have studied hard, therefore I passed the exam. In this sentence, we can get two things. The first one is the cause. I have studied hard. For that reason, I passed the exam. Isn't it? Good. And also we talked about cause and effect paragraph. Do you know what cause and effect paragraph means? Cause and effect paragraph is the relationship between cause and effect. Isn't it? When something happens, then after that action or that event, some result will be happened. That's why we said cause and effect paragraph. Isn't it? Good. So what's paragraph mean? Paragraph is a group of related sentences which are just arranged and organized based on that language, rule, and regulation. Isn't it? Bravo. It contains introduction, supporting details, and the concluding sentence. Am I right? Sure. Nice students. So today we are going to talk about the simple past passive. The simple past passive. The students, do you know what passive means? I hope you have some information about this concept because I have taught you in previous class. Isn't it? Sure. So, before we say something about passive in detail, it's better if we practice some sentence. For example, okay, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the function of simple past passive. Are you ready? Good. Then you are going to change active voice into passive voice in simple past. And the third objective of today's lesson is that you will discuss the difference between with and by in the passive voice. Good, students. Come on. Before we start the lesson, I want to give you something. For example here, my mother makes coffee. Look, this one is very simple sentence to know about passive and active voice. Students, is this sentence active or passive? Yes? Nice. This one is active voice. Active voice. Do you know the reason? Do you know the reason? Because here, the action is just starts from the doer of the action or the subject. Then it goes to what? To the object. Yes, clear? So the reason, here this one is the real subject. This one is verb. What about this one? This is the object. I hope you're familiar with subject, verb, object mean. Do you know what subject means? Subject means doer of the action. When you perform the action, you are the subject. When you receive the action, you are the object. Object means the receiver. What about verb here? Verb means, yes, action words, which shows the action here. So, dear students, please tell to your parents, is this sentence present tense or past tense? Yes, please. Students' parents, please ask him or ask her. Nice. This one is simple present. So, can you change this one into passive voice? I hope you can. Look. When we change this one into passive voice, we can start from the object, receiver of the action. Look, this one is the receiver of the action. So what about the subject here? Subject. This is doer of the action. The doer of the action. So what does it mean when we say action here? Verb is what? Verb is here, action. I hope it is clear. If you get this point, now we will change into passive voice. Then it will be easy. So when we want to change into passive voice, the speaker's attention is just on the receiver of the action. So at that time, we have to start from the receiver. Yeah? So we can say here, coffee. Yes? This one is, we've said what? Simple present tense. Am I right? So coffee is, yes? What about the verbosity form of this one? The verbosity form of make. That is made. Bravo. Coffee is made. Who is the doer of the action? My mother, isn't it? So, by structure can be used if you want to talk about or express the subject. By my mother. My mother. Bravo. Now it is time to change the given sentence into past tense. Students, let me give you 30 seconds. First, change this sentence here, this sentence into simple past. After that, change into passive voice. Students' parents, please let them do the activity. You have 30 seconds. Nice. I hope you did it. Bravo. Come on here. My mother makes coffee. In this sentence, the word makes shows what? Present tense. If you want to change this one into simple past, we can say my mother, because we're using the same subject. My mother, yes, made. This one is verb 2. Okay? What? Coffee. Look. You change it into simple past. Nice. Now it's time to change into passive voice. Yes? If you want to change into passive voice, as we've said earlier, receiver of the action. Okay? Here, so we have to say coffee. Can we say is here? No. What about are? It is impossible because the subject is singular. What about where coffee was? Was the verb 3 form of made is what? Made. The same is true with verb 2. Coffee was made by my mother. Look, students, come on. Coffee is not the real subject. It is just, we put simply in place of what? Subject. Because in passive voice, our attention is on doer of the action, receiver of the action. That's the reason why we put here. It's still the subject. The real subject is my mother. But since it is not my attention, I put at the end of the sentence. Using what? By structure. Nice student, I hope you take this one into passive voice like this. If you didn't do like this, please read more and then practice again and again. After practice, you can be perfect. Bravo, yeah? Okay, come on. Let's get about passive voice. Here is about our today's topic. Do we know when do we use passive voice? Yes? Come on here, students. Now it is time to talk about passive voice in simple past. In simple past. I hope I'm clear. Bravo. Here, when do we use passive voice? When do we use passive voice? Do you know that? I hope you have some information. Yes? When do we use passive voice? When? 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 We don't know the doer of the action. The doer of the action. When? What about another concept here? When the doer of the action is not important, is not or less important. Is it clear? And that's how we can use passive voice when the doer of the action is obvious. Means well known. It's obvious or well known. And if the speaker wants to hide, the subject. Is it clear? Bravo. Bravo, I hope it's clear. Now, I'm going to show you about the form. What about the form of? Form of passive voice. Yes, form of passive voice. Do you know that? Students, please bear in mind the form, unless it's very difficult to do it. Look, when we say the form, we mean that be plus verb 3. Do you know that? Do you know this concept? Be plus verb 3. Come on. When we say be, we mean that. Be. We have to know the families of be here. Is. Be means is in passive voice. Another, be means are in passive voice. What about another, be means was in passive voice? What about another concept here, be means am in passive voice? And the other such can be, yes, where. Look, this concept. Then, maybe in different concept we can see being, being, and also we can use be. Is it clear? Nice. Now, today we are going to talk about passive voice. So when we say passive voice, here we have to check what? Was, here, was it this one? Yes. Where, plus, yes, verb 3. Because our business is on what? On simple past. Am I right? Bravo, come on here. Now we will do it one by one. Here, in this sense, maybe we can put the subject of the active voice here. Then we can add another complementary here. Bravo, come on here. Here is students. Now it's time to change. My brother wrote the assignment. Look at the sentence. Wrote the assignment. Look, now we have to identify which one is the subject, which one is the verb, which one is the object. Look, in this sentence, my brother is subject. What about wrote? Verb. What kinds of verb is it? That is verb 2. Verb 2 means the simple or the past form of verb 1. Okay? What about the assignment here? The assignment is the object, or mean the receiver of the action. Now it is time to change into passive voice. Because this one is here, the action directly goes from the subject to the object directly. Because this one, the real subject. Come on. So if you want to change into passive voice, we have to start from the assignment. The assignment. The assignment. What about verb 2 here? Yes? This is verb 2. For that reason, we have to use was or were, depending on what? The subject. Here, the subject is singular or plural when we say the assignment. How many assignment is here? Only one assignment. So, can we use where? No. So we have to use what? Was. I hope I'm right. Yeah? The assignment was. Then what about the verb 3 form of this one? Yes? Written. Written. Is it important to indicate the real subject? Sure. If it is important, you can use what? By structure. Do you know when do we use by structure? By structure can be used if the speaker's emphasis on what? On the doer of the action. If the doer of the action is very important, it should be mentioned. Just so we can say, my brother. So the assignment was written by my brother. The second one. Let me give you another activity. Here, the teacher. The teacher advised the students. Now it's time to change this one into a passive voice. Look, in this sentence, this subject, this one is verb 2. The students are what? Object of the action. So, now it is time to change. This means we have to start from the object here. Yes? Students, bravo. I hope you say like this. Students. Now it is time to select whether was or where is available here. The students, how many students? 2 or more. So can we say was? It is impossible because students is what? Plural form of the word student. So we can say the students were. Where? What about advised? The same is true because this one is regular verb. So we have to say advised. Advised. The subject is the teacher. Is it important? If important, you can use by structure. As optional, we can say here, by the teacher. Look, this indicates what? If necessary, you can use it. If it is not necessary, you can leave it. Okay? Bravo. Now it is time to change. It is time to do an activity. I am going to give you an activity. Ready? Bravo. Students, now change. Activity 1. Activity 1. Change this active voice into their passive voice. Passive voice. Students, please, I hope you're writing. Yeah? Right, while I'm writing, okay? While I'm writing here, you have to write. Question number 1. The doctor treated the patients. The patients in the hospital. Number 2. My sister sent the letter. Number 3. Tamam opened the windows. The windows. Students, to do this activity, you have only 1 minute because you wrote it, yeah? Bravo. Please do this one. Students, parents, please don't forget to help your child or children. Nice, student. Now it's time to check whether you are right or wrong. In the first sentence, the doctor is what? subject. What about this one? Verb 2. What about the patient is? This one is the object. So don't worry about this one. This one can be said complementary, okay? In the hospital is what we call complementary. We use that to complete the sentence, to make it clear, okay? So leave this one here. Then we have to do the given concept. The patient is, am I right? Yeah. The patient is, yes, verb 2. So when we're saying verb 2, we have to think about was or where. How many patients? 2 or more. So we have to use where. The patients were treated by the doctor. Is it important? Not this much important because that is obvious. That's obvious, okay? Most of the time, the patients were treated in the hospital. By whom? By doctors or the nurses. So we can leave it. The patients were treated. Because this one is a regular verb. Regular verb means the verb which takes D, ED, or IED when we change into verb 2 and verb 3. Good. The patients were treated in the hospital. In the hospital. The complementary should be written in the hospital. Nice. What about the second one? My sister sent the letter. Look. Which one the subject? My sister, which are the verb? Sent the letter. So the letter then was, because this is only one letter, was sent by my sister, if necessary. If not, we can leave it. The last one. Tamam opened the windows. Tamam opened the windows. The windows is what? Yes, the object. So we have to start from it. The windows was or where? Where? Because it is plural. Where? Yes? Opened. Do you know what? Who Tamam is here? We don't know. So we can make it clear. By whom? By Tamam. If you know, you can leave it. If the speaker and the listener knows the rule of the action, no need of using by structure. Very nice. Thank you, student. Now it is time to go to the next point about passive voice. Passive voice with two objects. With two objects. Okay, now it's time to talk about two objects. Because we've discussed about one object. Come on, students. What do we say two objects mean? The sentence which contains two receivers of the actions. Isn't it? Come on. For example, my father, look, my father bought a computer. A computer for me. My father bought a computer for me. In this sentence, now we are going to identify which one is direct object, which one is indirect object. Students, please don't forget, bear your mind when we are saying direct object here, when we are saying direct, the receiver of the action, which directly takes the action, okay? Direct object. It answers here, it answers the question, yes, what? or whom. Bear in your mind. If you answer this question, what, whom? Okay? What about indirect object? Indirect object. Indirect object answers the question. Yes, the questions just like for whom, for whom, to whom, or for what, or yes, to what. It answers the questions. Am I clear? We will see these concepts one by one. Come on here. In this sentence, my father bought a computer for me. To get which one is direct object, first of all, you have to ask yourself, what did my father buy? Look, what did my father buy? Yes, a computer. Am I right? Sure. So this means direct object. Direct object. Maybe you can say DO to make short. Yes, good. So what did he buy? A computer. This is direct object. For whom? For whom? For me, okay? For me. So here, this means indirect object. Indirect object. Look, this one is indirect object. So now we can make, or we can change this sentence into passive voice using two strategies. The first one, if you are interested in direct object, you can start from direct object. If you want to start from indirect object, you can start from indirect object. So we can do in two ways. For example here, can we start from direct object? Nice. A computer. So here, because this one is subject, this one is verb 2. Direct object and indirect object. So here, a computer, we can say. A computer. How many computer? One computer. So a computer was bought. Yes, for me. If necessary, by my father, we can say. If necessary, we can add it. So what if you want to start from the receiver of the action, which we say here, indirect object? Can we start? Sure. So we can say, hey, I. We cannot say me, because me is just functioned as object. When we change into subject, it should be I. Clear? So, I, when I say I, this I'm saying only about myself. Yeah? So we can say was. I was, yes? Both, yeah. I was both. I was both means I'm the receiver. What's both for me? The computer. So I was both a computer. A computer, yes? By whom? By my father, if necessary. By my father. If not necessary, we can leave it. We can put just like this. This means this is optional. Am I right? Bravo. Okay. Now I'm going to give you an activity because it's time to identify which one is direct object, which one is indirect object. After you identify that, you are going to change into what? Then passive voice. Am I clear? Good. Here, activity 2. Activity 2. Now it is time to change. So, change. Right, please. Change this sentence into passive voice. Do you know passive voice mean in other ways passive sentence? Passive sentence. Number 1. Right, please, you don't have time. My friend send me send the letter. Send the application to me. The second. He told him the truth. The third one. My sister ordered him or her, ordered her to write the project. Students, to change this one into passive voice, you have only 1.5. Is it clear? Bravo. I hope you did it. Nice. Come on here. My friend sent the application to me. So in this sense, we're going to identify that. First of all, we have to start from which? The application or me. If you want to start from I, you can say I was, sent the application. The application. Because this application is direct object. Direct object. What about this one is indirect? Indirect object. So when you want to start from the application, you can say the application. How many application? One was sent. Yes, was sent to me. Maybe we can write my friend if necessary, because by structure can be used if the subject is very important. The second, he told him the truth. Yes, he told him the truth. This was a direct. This one is indirect object. So we can start from the truth. Was told. Was told. Yes, Was told. Maybe if necessary, we can ask, we can use what? He. Or was told to him. To him, to make it more clear. What about if you start from he? Yes, he was told. He was told the truth. What about the last one? My sister ordered her to write the project. Is it clear? Here, in this sentence, her is, yes, my sister ordered her to write the project. So we can start from her or the project. Can we start from her? So we cannot say her, because this one is when we say her, this means in objective case. So we have to say she was, yes, ordered. She was ordered to write. She was ordered to write the project. And also maybe we can say the project can be said. The project was, it's possible just like this, because the project is just not the receiver of the action. That is the complement. Am I clear? Good. If you did like this, really you are on the right track. Thank you very much. Students, parents, I hope you are helping your children. Okay, now let me tell you the difference between by and with within 2 or 1 minute. With. Look, in passive voice, we use this concept, by. Do you know here, by is just used to what? To show the doer of the action. The doer of the action. Of the action. What about with here? Here, this is used to show, yes, the instrument or the tools or the method which we used to perform the action. To perform the action. Here is one example. Let me give you an example. Yes, as we've said earlier, the homework was given by our teacher. Our teacher. Here in this sentence, our teacher is what? The doer, okay? The doer of the action. And also here, the students were ordered to do the task by the director. Okay, let me give you another example here. The cake was cut with what? With knife. Look, this one is the instrument, okay? The instrument. Here, the text book was prepared with the new curriculum. Look, this one is the method or the system that we use to prepare the text. Am I right? Very nice, student. That's all about today's lesson. To generalize what we've talked earlier, today we discussed passive voice and simple past tense. Passive voice means if the speaker pay attention on the receiver of the action. rather than on the did of the action. Is it clear? It is form is just be when we say was or were plus verb 3. Am I clear? Good. And also, as we've said there, maybe we can use two objects in passive or maybe in active voice, okay? And at that time, you can use from direct or indirect objects. Am I right? That's all, student. Thank you. Bye-bye.
አዲስ ሚዲያ ኔትወርክ ከአዲስ አበባ ከተማ አስተዳደር ትምህርት ቢሮ ጋር በመተባበር በአዲሱ የኤምኤን ፕላስ የቴሌቪዥን ቻናላችን የትምህርት በቴሌቪዥን ዝግጅት ስርጭት መጀመራችንን ያውቃሉ? ተማሪዎች